That pissed me off. Because for the past few years, I feel like anytime we've gotten together, it's because I call you.
I'm not getting into your stuff, but I just heard it walking by like, well, damn, really?
Well, it looks like you're getting into it.
Don Juan is totally sticking his nose in business that he doesn't even belong in.
What were you saying there? You was walking out. Let me go.
Well, in this part of the Season 8 talk of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we're going to be talking about two different relationships that have been strained this season. The first one pains me to talk about it is Peter and Cynthia. We've touched upon it in the past couple videos. In the other seasons, I'm talking about how Peter is one of my favorites on the show. I feel like we're witnessing the end of Peter on the show probably next season.
Oh, that's such an... Okay. I mean, there's a difference between their marriage falling apart and this just being the end of Peter.
Yeah, I care more about Peter leaving than their marriage. But
you still we gotta have a good juicy divorce. Like,
I know Peter's still gonna bring some drama. But his drama at the beginning of this season is a video that is out of him because he has a new bar outside of Atlanta in Charlotte. And there's a video of him with this other woman where it seems like he's almost kissing her on the cheek or something. It was slowed down video though. It's not like it was in real time to maybe make Peter look more guilty than he was. But maybe Peter is a hoe. I don't know. Do you think Peter's messing around in Charlotte?
yeah, probably. I think the question is does Cynthia care? Or is she just pretending to care because it's on video and she doesn't want to look like she's being walked all over?
You've brought that up before. Like some of these women don't care if their husbands are sleeping around.
I think a lot of women, especially from that generation, are like that. Do what you're going to do. Because they have this whole mentality that, oh, men cheat. And it's like, okay, well, if you allow it. And it's just like, I think for them, it's do what you do. If I find out, it's going to be some shit. And I feel like Cynthia found out, so now she has to, on the cameras, hold him to task.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I'd like to think that that's not the case, but maybe it is a generational thing.
Do you think Peter's a hoe?
I unfortunately think Peter probably was messing around. Like, I don't know if he's a hoe necessarily.
Well, you said hoe.
But he's out of town a lot. It can happen is all I'm saying. I don't like to speculate because I don't know for sure. But the video wasn't that damning, in my opinion. Like, he's at a nightclub. He owns a nightclub. I'm sure he's always flirting. But that's not necessarily cheating.
Yeah. And I think that there are certain things that Cynthia knows about her husband. Like, she might know that Peter talks to women like that. Yeah. And that might not bother her. And I said, like you said, I said that about Phaedra and Apollo. Like, there's no way Phaedra just doesn't know that Apollo can be flirty. So I think that it was caught on camera. It was made a story. So now Cynthia has to respond.
Exactly. Peter was acting a fool, though, at the beginning of the season. Like, when they were fighting a lot and at Cynthia's sunglasses event that we talked about.
What up, man? You all right? How you doing, y'all? Yeah.
Peter. Hi. How you doing?
Did you see that little... Do that again. Do that again?
I'm okay. I'm quite angry at Peter. He should keep his butt at home in Atlanta and fix his marriage versus going off to Charlotte, whispering sweet nothing in some little hoochie mama's ear. Not cool.
So when you see me, the proper way is when you see me, give me bull.
My friend.
Come on, stop that. Your bull.
Yeah.
I'm gonna entertain your bull.
No, but
I'm not gonna give you
okay,
right
wait,
now.
you guys. I'm gonna give
you start with me, that bull.
not starting with you. You started with it, Peter.
He was angry. He got into it with Kenya at one point. He didn't like Cynthia coming down in a bikini or whatever she was wearing, which also, that was kind of extra. But
for a sunglasses event at the Hilton Inn.
But Peter, he was looking guilty the way he was acting at the beginning of the season, unless that was just part of the show.
Yeah. I don't know, the whole thing's weird because, like, why are Mal and Kenya confronting him at an event? I don't know that.
And also, why is Mal spreading that Cynthia doesn't like fucking Peter anymore or whatever?
Mal's a fucking weirdo. She's a weirdo. First of all, like, asking, like, so do you find him sexually attractive? Are you having sex?
I mean, to ask that I can understand, but to then spread it to her friends is weird.
Yes, but I feel like to even ask it is like, why do you care? Like, that's not really.
Mel's always wanted that marriage to fail, so that's probably why she cares to ask.
Fair. Yeah, she's a weirdo. She's a fucking weirdo. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, spreading it to her friends is like wild.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And disturbing, actually.
Yeah. No, it's definitely creepy. Like, a part of me, I think you're right that she wants the marriage to fail, but a part of me is like, Mal, do you want Peter or do you want Cynthia? Like, something there is weird.
Yeah, Mal's always been weird about that relationship. But my boy Peter, he put in work the rest of the season to make up to Cynthia.
He did, yeah. He was the reason for the Jamaica trip.
Exactly. He put together some nice things for them.
Peter, I want him to take me on a trip to Jamaica. It looked like he knows how to have a good time.
It's his home country. Mm-hmm. The other relationship, though, is more of a friendship we got to talk about, and that is Kandi and Phaedra, whose friendship continues to be a problem after last season.
When I see Phaedra out at group events, it's very surface. Yeah, we speak, we're both cordial, but if we want to get that old friendship back, man, we need to talk. You and I ain't really been talking like how we used to. And to be honest with you, purposely, on my end, I was pulling all the way back. Because obviously, I told you before, I did not like what was said. What was said? Out of everybody in our group, you have been the most supportive. You have called me. You have sent me texts every single day. Out of everybody, I would have thought it would have been Kandi, because I have been there for Kandi. When you and I talk, you would make it seem like you was good. But then around other people, you put on a different face. That pissed me off. Because for the past few years, I feel like anytime we've gotten together, it's because I call you.
Well, let me tell you what really tripped me up. When a stranger came up to me in the grocery store and said, I want to buy some of Apollo's stuff that is sitting up in Kandi's property. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Yeah, all his stuff is over my house.
Motorbikes.
I was like, dang, has my husband made that much of a impact on them that they would try to hurt me by having this stuff up in here and
hurt you?
Yeah, it was hurt me because the government came to my house looking for the stuff and I didn't know what the stuff was. So it put me in a position where I had to defend what did he do with all these assets that he had.
I don't know what the government got to do with me. Girl, the feds is coming to you about way more than this little motorbike and four-wheeler, I am sure. First of all, at that time, you wanted him to get hit up out your house.
But you never mentioned it. Really, Kandi? I mean, everybody's girl code is different, but where they do that at?
Kandi's pregnant this season, and in the last season, season 7, she was having problems with Todd. But they seem to be doing better. Mm-hmm. But the friendship between Kandi and Phaedra is not, and Todd's kind of a big part of it because the whole Phaedra owes Todd money for a DVD.
You know what's crazy, Todd? I have really been a friend to you, and that's what trips me out about you. Because
it's not about that. It's about.
Well, no, it is about that.
It's about your ways. You
say ways.
You say I paid him $30,000, then I show you the checks. Oh well, maybe I made a mistake. Everything is a mistake, and it's off, and it don't add up.
Okay.
So why wouldn't you?
Okay, you keep talking about the payments. You were running around with my husband drinking and smoking, doing whatever the heck y'all were doing.
Let's talk about
you
that.
never asked him for the money. You waited and bullying his wife.
When we first did business, you said, Todd, this is between us business-wise. Apollo was
editing that video.
Apollo was not on the emails when it came to budget or anything, and I could show it to you. And you said it's between us because you were doing it yourself.
Yeah, and you and Apollo were hanging out and editing that video, supposedly.
No.
Last time we discussed the sides. And last season, Kandi was not being a great friend to Phaedra, in my opinion.
Yes.
She was not around.
Yes.
And only came around to get the tea, it felt like.
Yes.
So that's why, even though Phaedra is in the wrong with Todd, I guess, here, because she does owe him money. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm still more on Phaedra's side.
Yeah, I think the friendship was kind of done in the last season, and I don't know when they went into business together. Like, I don't know the timeline between like when they first kind of fell out, and then like was Todd recruited before that to produce the Donkey video. Like, I feel like the friendship's been over for a while, and we're just kind of watching it unravel.
The big thing that happened to set this off was, who knows what event this was, I don't remember. But outside, it was Phaedra, Portia, and Shamia.
So that was
that Kenya's?
It was either Kenya's hair event,
I think it was.
Or it was Candy. But then why was Candy's whole team there?
Well, maybe it was Candy's thing then.
Because I thought it was like, how are y'all gonna sit there and talk shit about us outside of our event? Yeah. I don't know what it would have been for Kandi.
She's always doing something.
Oh, video? Something.
Yeah, maybe it was a music video with what's her name from last season, Demetria. Then they do a video together. Music video.
Yes, because she was pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah, that song was Lil Bob. Unnecessary trouble.
I don't remember it, but this is when Don Juan overheard them talking shit about Kandi and got into it with Portia mostly.
Yes, because Portia was like, so y'all fell out over money.
What kind of problem does he have?
I don't know, because he got all the money. I ain't even got a product, child, but okay.
You didn't even put it out.
I did not. He made a coin off of it. He made 30,000 coins.
Are you sure that he got paid? Like, you know that for a
I wrote the checks.
Oh.
And they cashed. I did pay your husband $25,000, $30,000.
You still owe him
$5.
So it's coins from the husband that done kept y'all apart all the time?
I don't know. So
I mean, I'm talking about you and her. Forget Todd.
Well, no, we're cool.
At the end of the day, I think if you didn't put out the product and he got paid for production, I think that should be it. But you might want to email those instead of meet with him, honey, because I don't know. You know people these days and their money.
Hello, pretties.
Hey.
You know, I heard the gossip about my people, so I had to walk over here. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Gossip? What kind of gossip?
You know, y'all be gossiping and No, but they was going in about my people. I heard some shit.
Wait, tell us what you heard.
Well, you know about friendship being broken by money, but I think it was a lot more than that broke a friendship. But I'm not getting into your stuff, but I just heard it walking by like, well, damn, really? That's
well, it
what
looks like you're getting into it.
Don Juan is totally sticking his nose in business that he doesn't even belong in. I wish I had a bucket of water for his thirsty ass.
Did you drink tonight? You good?
But that just is foul that you out here talking about it at an event that you just came from them. That's not cool.
It was nothing negative.
Well, here's
you kind
what
of came
saying.
over here with some negative
I
energy.
heard from walking by you, a friendship was breaking over some money that you didn't even put out, and it's like, but the work was done.
Okay, I'm telling you that it wasn't negative. Don Juan,
but why you so extra with it?
I'm not Don Juan.
Yes,
You're loud. You came up here like really abrasive.
I've got kids to take care of, and
okay, yeah, because you're not
you weren't offended.
No,
but
thank you.
Yes, I'll be leaving. Don Juan, you really need to have several seats and find you some business of your own.
You're not entertaining anybody. I'm hot and tired and bothered.
Am I tripping?
We just got other things to do. I gotta get home.
No, and I want you to get home, and I get that. Like, but you get what I was saying, Phaedra, obviously, because you didn't say nothing.
All right, so let's go.
Bye, Don Juan.
That fight also put me more on Phaedra and Portia's side because Don Juan is really annoying.
He is.
And the fact that it seemed like the whole team had to be involved with it to stick up for Kandi, which I get, they're a close-knit team, but I don't know. These are supposedly Candy's friends. Kandi and Todd should be able to handle it themselves.
Yeah, I think the more appropriate course of action would have been to just listen and go back to Kandi and be like, hey, this is what I overheard. I don't think Don Juan needed to insert himself, but I do think Don Juan wants him a little bit of camera time.
Probably.
I think that's also why he came so hard at Todd, is because like it was all camera time. Don Juan's a fucking diva. And like, I'm not saying that on some homophobic shit. Like, no, he just actually is. Like, he's genuinely annoying. And I feel like he came at Portia to have a moment. And yeah.
A quick aside on Portia, though, because we're not going to talk about this at all at any other point in the videos. But at the reunion, apparently she was in another fight with somebody she works with.
Portia, wait! No, Portia, no! You have way too much to lose. What were you saying there? You was walking out. Let me go. What's wrong with you? She's disrespectful as.
This is Portia's hat that I found in the alleyway.
So that's now, what, 3 physical altercations on the show in
yes.
a couple years?
Yeah. It was after Phaedra's Christmas party. She got into it with one of her assistants because I guess the assistant had been disrespectful, and Portia claims that the assistant was just like doing some shady, underhanded shit. And so I guess that warranted beating her ass in an alley. You know, in your little fucking Frosty the Snowman slut suit.
Well, at the reunion, Portia admitted she needed some help, and hopefully she did get anger management that season.
You know, and I'm not sure who's aware of it, but Portia began to go to anger management class. This is something that needs to be treated.
I can only speak for myself, but I know some of the other girls have felt very uncomfortable being around you. The way you've had to be restrained shows that you're out of control.
Yeah,
don't spoil me. I don't know if we're going to see any other physical altercations with Portia, but I guess we'll find out. But quickly, back to Kandi and Phaedra. The other big issue with their friendship to me is that Kandi and Todd try to be such good friends to Apollo too. And I feel like that also makes things weird between Kandi and Phaedra.
I mean, I've been saying this.
Fair.
I've been saying this. Like, Todd, I don't really give a shit about Todd's relationship with Apollo at all. At the end of the day, the core friendship there is Phaedra and Kandi.
Yeah.
Todd is Candy's husband. So if Todd should have any loyalty, in my opinion, it should be to Phaedra. Because Phaedra is his wife's friend.
But Todd does not act like that at all. So.
No. And then Kandi, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Kandi kind of is the issue here because Kandi.
She is the issue.
Kandi could have just been like, listen, this is my friend. I'm going to support her. Don't talk about Apollo to me. I don't want his belongings in our house. If they are here, I'm going to tell Phaedra. But I feel like Kandi tried to play both sides because she knows what it's like to have, you know, family members that are in prison. And it's like, fine, sure, fair. But like, Phaedra's your friend and you know how she feels about this whole situation. And you're not respecting her wishes and her boundaries. So.
You know, Kandi, though, she's always going to stick up for her man or her mama or her money, I guess.
Yep, the 3M.
The last thing that happened between them towards the end of the season was the FBI visiting Kandi's house because
the Secret Service.
Well, yes, whatever you want to say, because
when no damn Secret Service.
They still had some of Apollo's items.
So the feds came to both Cynthia's house and Kandi's house. What was that like?
You know, it was scary. It was like a guy in a suit, and he said he was from the Secret Service, and I was like, okay, why are you here? And he said, you know, can I talk to you for a second? I was like, all right. And he was like, well, we received some information that you guys may have some stolen property in here.
You know, her first thought was like, what did Peter did now? But
right, I didn't even think about Phaedra when
but besides that, when I went
That's
downstairs and talked to him, he basically said he saw it on the show.
Your show. Watch where I'm alive.
Todd is holding on to Apollo's motorcycles. In terms
his motorcycle and his four-wheelers at our house.
Right.
They didn't tell me anything about, you know, that they was watching What Happens Live, okay? So I was like, I didn't know what to think.
First of all, I would never call the feds on, not even you, Kenya.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I know you wouldn't believe that, but at the end of the day, I went through it with my husband. I would never want that, and especially for somebody that I consider my friend, Kandi. So if that was my motive, that would have happened well before it was aired on TV.
Did you all suspect that Phaedra had told the feds?
At the time, I didn't know what to think because I think that same weekend, she was mad because Todd had tweeted some stuff or whatever. And then it was like after she was pissed off about that, then the next day, I think they was at their house, and then a couple of days later, they came to our house. because me and her was not in a good place, I'm like, did she do this?
But the thing that bothered me most about seeing that is, if you ever thought we was friends and I would call the feds on you and I know you got a baby coming, like, who does that?
Well, Phaedra, at the same time, you have done some weird to me in the past. You know, you are very secretive at times. And you work on your get back now. You have that Scorpio thing in you. So, I didn't know, like, okay, is she mad and is trying to, be on some BS?
If you think that I would do that to you after I went through all that, that lets you know, let me know what you think of me. Real talk.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie and tell you I didn't.
Okay, so
that thought did not cross my mind.
Todd, did you think that Phaedra had called the feds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think Phaedra really called the feds? Or told the feds, I guess. I don't think she called the feds.
I can see the feds doing some sort of discovery or whatever the feds do, I don't know, and asking her if she knows where belongings are. However, I do believe Peter's story that the feds watch what happens live. Because that is how so many housewives get caught up. They be watching these shows. That's how Teresa got caught up. Jen Shaw, these people get on here and they flash their belongings and their lifestyle, and their fucking taxes aren't paid up and they're done.
Well, that just sounds like Andy's a fucking government agent then.
Andy and Vlad TV work for the feds. Yes, they do.
Well, to end this video, probably not surprising, but I am Team Phaedra in this situation.
I think I'm Team Phaedra too for now. I can understand how she got to this point, but I think Kandi really wants the friendship to work.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
But it's too far gone.
Yeah.
And they should have just...
And Kandi played a big part of it being too far gone.
Yeah. Yep.